The second part of the unit number 4 is specialized applications of operational amplifier. Specialized applications of operational amplifier. So in this we are going to see about the 555 timer IC. The 555 is a monolithic timing circuit that can produce accurate and highly stable time delays or oscillations. The 555 is a monolithic timing circuit that can produce accurate and highly stable time delays. So this IC number is 555, which is called as 555, that is used to generate the accurate and highly stable time delays or oscillations. Okay, it can produce the time delays from few microseconds to several hours. It can able to produce the time delays between the few microseconds to several hours. So by just adding some external R and C resistor and capacitor, we can get the time delay between the few seconds to the several hours too. The timer basically operates in one or two modes. One is the monostable mode, which is also called as a one-shot multi-vibrator mode, or astable multi-vibrator mode. It is also called as free-running mode or free-running multi-vibrator mode. Okay, so what is this timer IC? It is a IC used to produce the time delays. These time delays are very useful in many circuits. Like in the traffic lights, if you say after certain time the green light will automatically changes to the red light, and the red light in the another side will be changed to the green light. Okay, this will happen by using the 555 timer ICs. By using this type of delay produced by the 555 timer ICs, we can produce the different delays between the lights switching on and off. The traffic signals is one of the example for the delay. Okay, these delays will be produced by the ICs, which is called as timer ICs. Okay, the important feature of this 555 timer IC are it operates between the plus 5 volts to plus 18 volts supply voltages. So it can operate between the plus 5 volts to plus 18 volts supply voltages, and it has the adjustable duty cycle. The duty cycle can easily adjustable by using some pins. Okay, the timing from microseconds to hour. By just attaching the different components externally, we can get the timings from microseconds to hours. It has the current output up to 200 milliamperes. Next, the output of IC is compatible with the both transistor logic and CMOS logic too. Okay, the both logics output can get from this IC. Available in three types of packages. One is 8-pin metal can package, 8-pin metal can package, which is also called as the TO package, and 8-pin dip package, which is called as a mini dip package. By the numbers of this IC is NERSE555 and the TLC555SC. Okay, both ICs are 555 timer ICs only, and it can also be available in a 14-pin dip package. Consists of two 555 timers, a 14-pin dip IC which contains the two ICs, and these three are the packages that are available: 8-pin metal can, 8-pin dip and 14-pin dip. So, and these IC has a good temperature stability and widely available in the market and less cost like an op amp. So op amp and these ICs are very cheaper, available for 10 or 20 rupees too. So this IC 555 pin diagram, if you see, ground, first pin will be the ground terminal, second pin is called as trigger, and third pin is called as output, fourth pin is called as a reset, fifth pin is called as control voltage, sixth pin is called as threshold, seventh pin is called discharge, eighth pin is called as supply voltage VCC. So ground, trigger, output, reset, control voltage, threshold, discharge and power supply. These are all the 8 pins. 8 pin are mini DIP package of 555 IC. The pin number 1 is the ground terminal, which is 0 volts, and second pin is the trigger to give the external trigger pulse, and the third pin is the output pin. So if the output is taken between the pin 3 and pin 1, which is called as normally off load, or source current will flow in that load. Okay. So if the output is taken between the pin number 1 and 3, pin number 1 and 3, which means that output pin and ground, then that is called as normally off load. Therefore the source current will flow in that load. If the output is taken between the pin number 3 and 8, and 8th pin is a VCC terminal, therefore this loads connected between the 8th pin and 3rd pin will operate whenever the pin 3 or output pin is low. Therefore it is called as normally on load, always will be on. Okay, so whenever the pin 3 is off, then only it will work. So that's why it is called as normally on load. Therefore sink current will flow in that load resistors if you connect the resistor between the pin 3 and pin 8. And pin 4 is called as a reset pin to reset the flip-flop or output. So there is a flip-flop which is inside of that IC that can be reset using the pin number 4, and the pin number 5 is the control voltage, so given to the inverting terminal of comparator 1, which is inside of the IC, and pin number 6 is called as a threshold given non-inverting pin of op-amp comparator 1, and the 7th pin is called as a discharge pin. The collector to discharge the capacitor is given this path, and 8th pin is the supply voltage, which is positive power supply. Applications of this 555 IC timer, which is used in the oscillators, square wave generator and pulse generator. So these three are main applications of the 555 timer IC. One is used in the oscillator, square wave generator and pulse generator. Let us see the black diagram for the 555 timer IC. So which contains mainly the 3 resistors and 2 comparators, 1 flip-flop and 1 transistor. Here from the 8th pin to 1st pin, the pin number 1, 8th pin is a plus VCC supply and the 1st pin is a ground terminal. From 8th pin to pin number 1, we have 3 equal value resistors. The value of the resistance is 5 kilo ohms equally, 5 kilo ohms, 5 kilo ohms and 5 kilo ohms. Therefore, with these 3 resistors will form the voltage divider network. Therefore, after each resistor, we will have the voltages like after the first 5 kilo ohms resistor, the voltage is 2 by 3 VCC, and after the second resistor, the voltage is 1 by 3 VCC. After the third resistor, the voltage equal to 0, and before the first resistor, the voltage is plus VCC. Therefore, here we have the two different levels only, which is 1 by 3 VCC and 2 by 3 VCC. 1 by 3 VCC, 2 by 3 VCC, which are very important voltage levels in this. And we have two comparator circuits, so which are named as UC and LC, upper comparator and lower comparator. Upper comparator negative terminal, which is the inverting terminal, which is given to the 5th pin of our IC, which is given to the 5th pin of IC, which is called as the control voltage, and the voltage at this node or at this 5th pin is equal to 2 by 3 VCC always. Okay, initial voltage and the voltage at this node is always 2 by 3 VCC, and the 6th pin of our IC has been given to the non-inverting terminal of the comparator 1. Okay, here the 6th pin is directly connected to the non-inverting terminal of our comparator 1. And the second comparator, which is called as the lower comparator LC, the non-inverting terminal is given to the 1/3 VCC, 1/3 VCC, which means after the second resistor it was joined, and the inverting terminal of this lower comparator is directly given to the second pin of the IC, which is called as trigger. Okay, so for the lower comparator we have only one input from the outside, that is called as trigger, but for the upper comparator we have two inputs from the outside. One is the control voltage, another one is the threshold. This control voltage may give or may not give. So if it is not given, means the voltage at the negative terminal or inverting terminal is a 2/3 VCC. If it is given, it will get varies according to that. And these two comparator outputs are given to a flip-flop, which is a SR flip-flop, set reset flip-flop, which has the two outputs. One is the Q, another one is the Q bar. The Q and Q bar are opposite to each other. When Q is equal to 0, Q bar will be 1. When Q is equal to 1, Q bar is equal to 0. And from the Q bar, output is given to the outside, which is the third pin of our 555 IC. Okay, Q bar is given to here, and in order to reset this flip flop or reset this entire IC, we are using the fourth pin. This fourth pin is directly connected to the reset pin of the flip flop. If you give some voltage to the reset pin, then automatically our IC will reset. And the Q of flip flop, the Q will be given to a transistor which is called the discharge transistor Q1, and this transistor is operating in CE amplifier configuration, common emitter configuration. This emitter is grounded internally, and the collector of this Q1 transistor is given to the 7th pin of our IC, which is called as discharge pin. Okay, so here you can see the pin number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8 pins. So 8 pins got covered. So this is about the black diagram of the 555 IC timer. Now we know that it will operate in two modes only. One is the monostable mode, another one is the astable mode. Okay, so any one of the mode it will operate. So how we can convert the 555 IC into the monostable mode, we will see. So monostable operation of the IC 555. In order to operate the IC 555 as monostable multi-vibrator, then we can connect like this. So the fourth pin and eighth pin must be connected to the plus VCC. The fourth pin is the reset pin and eighth pin is the plus VCC. If we connect like this, we are not resetting the flip flop. Okay, if the fourth pin is connected to the plus VCC, then it won't reset the flip flop. If the fourth pin is connected to the ground, it will reset the flip flop and output is equal to 0. Okay, then fourth and eighth pins are given to the VCC, and the third pin is the output terminal, and the fifth pin control voltage is given to ground through a capacitor, 0.01 microfarad capacitor, used to bypass some noise signals. And the first pin is the ground pin, which is connected to the ground, and the second pin is the trigger input, and sixth and seventh pins has been joined and then given to a capacitor C. The voltage across the capacitor VC will be the voltage at the sixth pin as well as the seventh pin, and a resistor which is connected between the plus VCC to the sixth and seventh pin. A resistor R is connected between the VCC to the sixth and seventh pin combination at this node. Okay, and this is the IC connection of monostable multivibrator using IC 555. Now we will see the same circuit in the black diagram of the 555 IC. As we have already seen the 8th pin, which is the VCC, from the VCC to 6th and 7th pin short, we have the resistor R like this, and From the 6th and 7th pin combination, we have a capacitor C. This capacitor is connected between the 6th and 7th pin to ground terminal. Okay, the 7th pin is nothing but the discharge pin, and the 6th pin is the threshold voltage which is given to the upper comparator non-inverting terminal. Then you can see the trigger input is the second pin, and the voltage at this node is 2 by 3 VCC, and voltage at this node is 1 by 3 VCC, and the Q bar is the output, and the Q is directly given to the discharge transistor base. When that transistor is in on, which means that Q is equal to 1, then what happened? This will work like a switch, so it will have the closed loop between this collector to ground or emitter. Okay, let us see the operation once. Okay, these are all the input and output waveforms. We will explain later. See first, initially what I am assuming is, see from this diagram, initially output will be in ground state. Okay, output will be in ground state, and this is a trigger input, and this one is the voltage across the capacitor. So these waveforms are, one is the trigger input and voltage across the capacitor, and the output voltage. Okay, see first of all, initially output will be in logic low 0. So if Q bar is equal to 0, in the sense Q is equal to 1, definitely Q is equal to 1. So this Q is equal to 1 is directly given to the base of the discharge transistor, therefore it will on, therefore it will be in on state. So if there is any voltage which was stored in this capacitor, that can be discharged through this way. This capacitor voltage will go like this, and then it will discharge through this transistor to ground. Okay, the entire voltage will be discharged to ground. But here, as we have no resistor between the capacitor to ground, therefore it won't take much time. Okay, it will discharges instantaneously, immediately it will discharge. So when we apply a negative voltage which is less than 1 by 3 VCC, so here if you see, for the comparator 2, one of the input non-inverting terminal is given with the voltage of 1 by 3 VCC. Suppose if you apply the external trigger voltage of large negative voltage which is less than this 1 by 3 VCC, then the voltage at this terminal, non-inverting terminal, will be greater than the inverting terminal voltage, because the inverting terminal is given to the large negative voltage which is less than VCC by 3. So that's why, so this comparator 2 or lower comparator will triggers, and the output voltage will be the plus V saturation, because the voltage of the non-inverting terminal is greater here, because we are applying the negative voltage. Therefore 1/3 VCC is greater than this negative voltage, therefore this will be, output will be plus V saturation. This plus V saturation output will be resets the flip-flop. The flip-flop will be reset here. When it reset, then Q is equal to what? Q is equal to 0 and Q bar is equal to 1 here. Therefore, output will become plus V saturation or VCC. As the Q voltage is equal to 0, this 0 is directly given to the base of this transistor. Here the voltage is 0, therefore this 0 will switch off the transistor. This transistor will be in off state. At that time there is no connection between this capacitor to ground, there is no connection. Therefore what happens, this entire voltage will be charged into the capacitor C through the resistor R. Okay, therefore this capacitor will start charging towards the VCC. So this capacitor voltage, this capacitor charging voltage is given to what? The pin number 6 and 7th combination. The 7th pin is the discharge, no problem, and for the 6th pin is the threshold voltage, which is the non-inverting input of the comparator 1, and this comparator 1 of the input is given with the 2 by 3 VCC and another input voltage is given to the capacitor. When the voltage across the capacitor is greater than the voltage at the inverting terminal, which is at 2 by 3 VCC, then what happens? The voltage at the non-inverting terminal is greater than the inverting terminal. Therefore, this upper comparator will switches to the plus V saturation output. So this plus V saturation output, here output will be the plus V saturation, and this plus V saturation voltage which is given to the set of the flip flop. When the flip flop set, the output will changes to 1. The Q is equal to 1 and the Q bar is equal to 0. Output will be switched from the plus Vsat to minus Vsat, and the one which is at the Q will be directly given to the transistor, discharge transistor. Therefore, the transistor will be in on state now. As it is on, the voltage stored in this capacitor will be discharged through this capacitor. Okay, when the discharging voltage, see, this is the waveform. So when we apply the trigger, then what happens? This is the capacitor charging. This capacitor is started charging from the 0 volts to VCC volts, and the output is also equal to the plus VCC. And when the charging voltage is reached to the 2 by 3 VCC, upper comparator will triggers. Therefore, the capacitor will start discharging. So this is the discharging curve. So discharging in the sense, here there is no resistor connected in the discharging path. That's why this entire voltage is directly go to the 0 directly. So now the output is also switched to plus VCC to ground. This is the operation of the monostable multi-vibrator. I will explain you one more time. Initially, output will be in low condition. Therefore, Q bar is equal to 0 and Q is equal to 1, as it is 1. So, this transistor will be in on state, and if there is any voltage stored in this capacitor, that will be discharged in this way, in this path. When we apply some negative voltage, which is to that second pin of our 555 IC, which is trigger, then here the VCC by 3 at a non-inverting terminal will be the greater than the inverting terminal voltage, which is less than VCC by 3. Then the second comparator will gives the voltage of plus V saturation, that will reset the flip flop. Therefore, Q is equal to 0 and Q bar is equal to 1. Output will be equal to plus VCC, and this Q is equal to 0 will make the transistor off. Okay, then this capacitor will start charging towards the VCC through the resistor R. Okay, when this voltage, the charging voltage across the capacitor is reached to greater than 2 by 3 VCC, then what happens? This comparator 1 will equal to plus V saturation output. This plus V saturation output will set the flip flop, which means the Q is equal to 1 and Q bar is equal to 0. Output will be switched to the 0 volts, and this Q is equal to 1 will switch on that transistor, and whatever the voltage stored in the capacitor will be discharged in this path. Okay, so this will be in the same state up to the next trigger pulse applied. So the monostable multivibrator is also called the one-shot multivibrator. Why it is called as one-shot multivibrator? Because whenever we give some external trigger, then only the operation will be done. See, whenever we apply the negative trigger, that time only it is giving the pulse. Okay, after whatever the time, it won't go into the plus VCC output voltage, because it works only for the negative trigger what we are applying at the pin number 2. Okay, so when we apply the trigger, then only it will work. So now we have to calculate the pulse width of this monostable multivibrator in order to calculate how much time this monostable multivibrator will be in the quasi-stable state. This zero state is called as stable state, and this plus VCC state is called as quasi-stable state, because in this state our monostable multivibrator will not be in that state much time, only certain time it will be in that state. After that it will automatically switches to the stable state of 0. Okay, so let us see the derivation for the time period of the monostable multivibrator. The voltage across the capacitor increases exponentially, and it can be given as Vc is equal to V applied voltage into 1 minus e power minus t by Rc. So here V nothing but Vcc. Okay, so Vc is equal to 2 by 3 Vcc. So at last charging point Vc is equal to, because the capacitor will charge up to the 2 by 3 VCC only, therefore VCC is equal to 2 by 3 VCC, Vc is equal to, therefore instead of Vc we can substitute that 2 by 3 VCC, therefore the 2 by 3 VCC is equal to VCC, V is nothing but VCC, so VCC into 1 minus T by RC. And here if you multiply the term with VCC, VCC minus VCC into e power minus T by RC. So if you take this VCC to the left hand side, which becomes minus VCC, so which is 2 by 3 VCC minus VCC is equal to minus VCC into e power minus T by RC. So if you common the VCC from these two terms, so 2 by 3 VCC minus 1 into VCC is equal to minus VCC into e power minus T by RC. We can cancel VCC from the both sides. Okay, so 1 by 3 VCC is equal to, so minus 1 by 3 VCC is equal to minus of e power minus T by RC into VCC. So e power minus T by RC VCC is equal to 1 by 3. So here, sorry, here there is no VCC here. We are cancelled the VCC from the both sides. Therefore, if you want to eliminate this E in order to get the time period T, we have to apply the natural logarithm ln. So if you apply the ln and E will get cancelled. So which becomes minus T by RC is equal to ln of 1 by 3. So T is equal to RC into ln of 1 by 3. This RC will go and multiply the right hand side equation. Therefore, T or tau is equal to 1.1 RC, which is the time period of the monostable multivibrator. 1.1 RC is the time period of the monostable multivibrator. So let us see one problem regarding that. So design a monostable multivibrator using the 555 timer to produce a pulse width of 100 milliseconds. Solution: the T is given as 100 milliseconds, and we know that the T value is equal to 1.1 RC from the last derivation. Let us assume the C value, which is 1 microfarad, and R is equal to, from this equation we can get R is equal to T by 1.1 C, and C we assume, then we can calculate R as 100 into 10 power minus 3, okay, divided by 1.1 into 10 power minus 6. Because the time is given as 100 millisecond, 100 into 10 power minus 3 divided by the 1.1 into 10 power minus 6, the C, okay, 1 microfarad, which is equal to 10 power minus 1 by 11 into 10 power minus 7, which is equal to 1 by 11 into 10 power minus 6, which is 90.9 kilo ohms. Therefore, we can draw one monostable multivibrator using the IC 555, and then we can substitute the value of C and R, which is 90.9 kilo ohms for the R and 1 microfarad for the capacitor. This is how we have to do the problem in the examinations.